Hi, everyone. Earlier today, Wednesday, July 9th, and as I reported earlier as well, members of the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Joint Powers Authority, the City of Oakland, the County of Alameda, the Oakland Raiders, and the NFL in the face of NFL Executive Vice President for Business Operations Eric Grubman met at Raider headquarters today to see the latest progress regarding the effort to retain the Raiders in Oakland. I have reported that it was a disastrous meeting and it was dysfunctional, and I will explain why that is on video. First, to understand, let's go back one day before to Tuesday, July 28th, when Eric Grubman gave an interview to the Mighty 1090, a video interview, which is again reported here at Zenny62.com, Zenny62 on YouTube, where the reporter Marty asked Mr. Grubman a number of questions, and Grubman gave a glowing report. And I don't care how you feel about San Diego and its ability to retain the Chargers, the report was glowing regarding, and if you know stadium development, it was glowing regarding that meeting. Why? Because, first of all, Grubman said they saw concepts that were exciting. His words, not mine. He said that the positive news were that all parties were at the table. And if you understand stadium development, even if someone like Grubman says it wasn't a negotiation, when you have all the people that constitute an economic development value chain in the room, from mayor to team owner, in this case, developer, analysts, experts, and so on, you have the perfect foundation for conversations where one party, the presenting party, can say to the party viewing it, what do you think about this concept? Or what do you think about that? And you can establish a baseline of discussion, which is part of the negotiation process that gets you to an eventual yes. That is huge. That is a huge, huge advance for any city. I don't care if it's San Diego, St. Louis, Oakland, or Carson, or Inglewood, to obtain. Enormous. Because it was on Tuesday, and Eric was coming to Oakland, basically San Diego set the tone for Oakland. But instead of presenting something that was similar, what we have coming out of that meeting, a meeting that was comprised by parties who are comfortable and normally say that the negotiations with Floyd Gephardt, New City, are confidential, the project is confidential, is something that Oakland's former city council member and now Alameda County Supervisor Nate Miley, who's on the Joint Powers Authority representing the county, elected to make public. And that is the county's desire to sell its share of the Coliseum. And you would say, why is that a problem and a big deal? Because 1 year ago, when Oakland Mayor Jean Quan was just that, on July 14th, if memory serves, and I believe it does, there was a similar discussion played out in the media around the time of the discussions regarding the reformation of the Oakland Athletics lease, which led to its eventual signing, the 10-year lease, around the message that the city and the county can't partner properly with the Coliseum and we have to seek another structure. And the problem with that conversation was that it happened during the A's lease discussions, making us look like we're dysfunctional and the A's are waiting for us to get our act together. And Karen Boyd, who was the mayor's spokesman, very rightly at the time saying, that's something that we'll have to revisit another day. So why in the hell will we wait about a year to revisit that during a meeting with the National Football League? We want to at least give the impression that we're as one unit and ready to build some type of way, some type of complex, regardless of whose complex or concept it was, to retain the Raiders. That was something that reminded me of a scene in Avengers Age of Ultron where Tony Stark is in the Hulkbuster suit fighting the Hulk. The Hulk gets on him, starts beating him and ripping different parts out. And Banner's going to town as the Hulk. And Stark as Hulkbuster says, "Oh, dick move, Banner." And it was. Because here we are again, similar situation, important meeting, but instead of focusing on the meeting, what we do is we focus on our dysfunctions, and we make that the news. Again, we focus on our dysfunctions, and we make that the news. Never mind, the discussion is how do we fix the dysfunction? The focus is on our dysfunction. Then there's the other new thorny set of questions. How much does the county want? The county of Alameda has its own assessed value report that it doesn't want to release to anyone. It just so happens there was a guy that between 1987 and 1988 served as the intern and numbers cruncher for something called the Coliseum Redevelopment Survey Area. He then went on to build an enormous computer model called the Area Redevelopment Economic Model, which focused on that area. And I believed it contained an assessed value calculation for the Oakland Coliseum complex then, which could then be, marched forward to give a ballpark. That person was me. There has been a lot of bad journalism in this. Shameful. Stuff that makes me want to puke. The bottom line is, and I've said this and I'll say it again, we can retain the Raiders. If the Raiders leave, it's our fault as a city and as a county. This isn't the time to figure out how to basically hide the zucchini, okay? What we've got to do is this. First of all, can the city buy the Coliseum? The answer is yes. The structure I recommend is a sale-leaseback. The question is, how much does the county want for it? If the county chooses the option of replacement cost new, I'm going to say this as a curse word, we're fucked. Why? Because that's $2 billion at least. They're going to want 50% of that just to screw us. I certainly hope I'm wrong. I'm only saying that to be dramatic. I know that. But it forces the county's hand. How much do you want? It would be nice if the county just said, you know what? Just take care of our debt problem. Because then you could park that into, my proposal could fit it comfortably. All I would do, and I have to calculate how this would pencil out in my spreadsheet, is add something I call a area-wide Coliseum user fee. How much would that be? I don't know. Amortized over 40 years to get us the money that we need. But as I think about it, the idea, the user fee that I'm thinking about just might work. It just might work. If we can retain the number of events that we have, it just might work as the idea. But my point is that it would get us back to the focus of having the new stadium for the Raiders, ideally with retaining the east side, because that takes away a lot of the demolition expense, a lot of the site prep expense, EIR costs. It really reduces all of that if we retain the east side and just upgrade it, because it was built in 1995. It just needs a few upgrades, about $20 million worth. Well, my point is that it gets us back to that focus of the project, of retaining the Raiders and the athletics in a proper way. But right now, yeah, we don't look good at all. It's tearfully sad. It really is.